Hi, everybody. I've got the amazing Jenifer Miller and the incomparable Kelly Sutton side by side. They're actually together, which is amazing. I wish I could be, but this is the best I get today. Welcome, ladies, to the Silversilk and More channel. I'm so delighted to spend some time with you guys.
I am so excited too. And it just worked out that we rescheduled from last week to this week because Kelly's driving through town.
I didn't know you were going to have a special guest. Like my special guest was going to have a special guest. So it's like a trickle effect of special guesting.
Well, I figured if I'm driving by, I might as well just, stop in and crash here for the night. So as I literally drive past like on 99, which is like what, 2 minutes down the road from her. I drive through as I'm cutting across to get to Tucson. So I'm like, hey, can I camp out here for the night? And she's graciously said yes. Yeah. And I get to meet her finally after a few years, which is really nice. So
it's funny how Tucson kind of spirals out into becoming a bigger adventure.
Yeah.
I haven't been prior to last year before. I've always been told I should go, but I didn't really have a purpose or reason. And I think at that time I didn't have any friends, like as many friends in the industry as well. But like my circle has grown quite a bit, and it's so funny how Tucson just becomes a giant party basically.
Yeah.
With
yeah, I go for the camaraderie just as much as the beads. I go say hi to my people, and you get together and you break bread or you talk about beads or whatever you do. Like sometimes it's just like you give somebody a hug in passing as you're, running down to get to the next booth or something. But it's nice to be able to sort of see so many like-minded people. And I don't know, it's an experience. It's hard work, but it's an experience.
I think the shopping is it's an equal part of dread and excitement.
Yes, very much so. That's why I'm taking Savannah with me this year so she can help me with all that, because I find it very overwhelming because I'm trying to, you're trying to think about designing and trying to think what I'm going to sell in the store and, for kits. And then I did the boxes this year. So there's just so many things going on, and I'm oh goodness, how am I going to do all of this in a week basically? So Savannah's going to come and join me. So it'll be interesting to see, because she's going to have everything pink and purple, which are my least favorite colors. So
get some red. Some red.
Yeah, you love red.
Get some red.
I'm surprised that nobody loves as much purple, maybe, but I don't know. I guess that's also just because it's my brand color, and I love purple. I haven't worn it much, but I feel like I'm missing an opportunity.
Yeah, you could be dripping in it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I always knew whenever I wanted to, pop a little extra something for Jenifer in one of her orders, like we'd find a red strand of some kind. So because that's always been her favorite. It's like me, everything I make is blue and brown, but I don't necessarily wear blue and brown, and I don't decorate in blue and brown per se. I just love that combo for making jewelry, and I'm stuck in a blue and brown rut. Can't get out of it.
There's nothing wrong with blue and brown and turquoise and all of the beautiful pretty colors that you can get.
Yeah, I love
There's
that.
some blues right there. Yeah. Of course I have a Silversilk satellite warehouse here.
Yeah, you've got some good.
I was going to say, someone asked if you were going to Tucson, but I feel like you brought Tucson in your living space.
She already has it here. She doesn't need. Good Lord, you do not need to go to Tucson, woman.
I would just be going for the fun. But I'm not going. I'm not going because it just kind of crept onto me, and I have to request I'm on a work calendar, so I have to request my days in May, and it wasn't on the radar. And so, yeah, because, I have to take March some days off for little Miss Rain, because we're going to Disneyland for her birthday.
So, are you?
Wow, that's so special. I love that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to Tucson.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
I will indirectly be getting a lot of stuff from Tucson.
Yes, you will.
Indirectly. Find some red things in your next mail package.
See Lorena on there. Hi, Lorena. How are you doing?
There's Lorena.
I had to build it into my calendar as well now, and I think it's going to be a permanent cycle of me going every year.
Oh, well, I have to go next year.
Well, I missed out on the 2 years when things were, chaotic in the world, and then I still
Mm.
wasn't quite ready. And so I was really missing it. And last year I had a blast. It was so much
Uh,
fun. I went with two of my friends who Nealay met, and we had a good time. Last year was fun. Just, I don't, it was a blur. It was a blur. But this year, I don't know. I've got a lot of shopping to do this year. I've got to be very focused.
was last year the first year back since the pandemic?
It had been the year prior, but not
Okay.
not a lot of people went. There was still a lot of
I feel like, yeah, I went on the right time for my first year because last year was pretty lively.
yeah.
And like
People were coming out of their holes last year.
I feel like that too. And there was a lot more shopping and stuff that I probably could have done. I just didn't get around to budgeting quite correctly for it. But this year, you're right. Like, it's good to go in with the strategy. It's good to build in the calendar for social time and work time and dinners and stuff and all the good fun stuff.
Yeah, it's easy to blow through the budget. Sometimes I will go with a budget in my mind, and in the first 10 minutes, I spend it at the first booth, and I'm like, well, now what do I do for a week? So I have to be careful because I want to just buy all of it. So this year, I'm going to have a different strategy and see if it works. This is almost 20 years for me going, I think, close to it, minus those couple of years. So I'm glad to be able to go because it is really just my thing. I love it. I love everything about it.
I want to go.
Yeah, and I drive a very long way from Vancouver, British Columbia, so that I can load my car up. Because last year I lost a box when I flew last year, and I sent home all of those boxes, and they lost one for 2 months, and I almost had a coronary. And then they found it, but it was a lot of stress for me. So I said, I'm not doing that. I'm going to drive instead. So
I feel you, and I think that's what my buddy Jill is doing as well, Jill Wiseman.
Yeah.
I was offered to go on the ride with her, but there is no I'm like, I'd be a trapped cat in a little crate if I had to go in a 18-hour drive with anyone, really. I
and
can't
she's from
drive
Texas, so she
more
drives
than
120
2
miles
hours.
an hour.
So I chose to fly instead. So I'll be seeing Jill the day after she arrives, and my journey is long, but it is not as long as 18 hours.
No, you're probably like a hop, skip, and a jump, aren't you? Like, how long is your flight? An hour?
Well, I sort of took a weird trek because I'm afraid of the Denver airport. I don't know what's going to happen this time of season, so I chose to go to Nevada through Las Vegas, and so I'm going to fly there first.
They just
and
had snow
then
there.
from there Tucson.
Okay.
And then same path on the way back, although I fly to Las Vegas, go back to Phoenix, and then from Phoenix to Tulsa. So that's going to be a long-ish day, but I've got plenty of stuff to keep me busy, and I'm bringing my laptop.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We have a dinner coming up in 2 days.
Yeah. Friday night we're gonna hang out.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick intro for Jenifer. She is a designer who also works a day job like myself, but a design extraordinaire and a diehard Silkie. I think I met you a few years ago through the Great Bead Extravaganza, and I think you latched onto Silversilk so hard. And then never really let go. And then here you are, converted into like an influencer designer person. And I couldn't be any more proud of you. Your design and your capabilities and your techniques are just so the words are not coming to me. That's how just gushy I feel right now. But you're amazing. And your talent is unbridled for sure. And you've got Kelly sitting next to you, so I feel like there's some stuff that's emanating from her that it's just gonna like seep into you while you're doing this video. The talent.
It all does. I learned everything from her. Why, everything, and she doesn't do a lot of simple loops. So simple loops, I can't do simple loops. I break the neck too much, or I struggle with it. And I'm doing a simple loop today in the project. So we'll just see. But
good luck on that. I hate doing those things. They're unpredictable. They're like the weather.
See, I learned from.
I do know how to do them, but I tend to be a wrap loop kind of gal.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We all have like our favorite things to do and the things that we
Mhm.
need to work on. And I have a laundry list of things that I need to work on as well. So you know what though? The design is still there. You can always go back and rework the technique to
Mhm.
make it look perfect and do all those little details behind the scenes. But it really is a natural talent to put elements and stuff together. And so I was delighted that you reached out and said, let's do a video together. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, like, let me send you some stuff immediately. And
Mhm.
um, you have stuff on your table, as we can all see. This is stuff
Yeah.
from the Paris in the Rain themed pop-up shop that we did for January.
Mhm.
And
So
so these were
pretty.
all curated items that I found, and the Silversilk that I made custom to go with those particular items that
I
reminded
hate
me
the colors. The
a
colors are
romantic
bad.
evening in Paris with
They're my favorite.
raindrops falling everywhere.
It's like you made it for me. Like the colors are literally my favorite color palette.
Yeah, like maybe I was conjuring Kelly,
Maybe.
meeting
I
up with
love it.
Kelly in the rain.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. The colors are just so inviting. I love it.
Yeah. So this one is leather with the wire knitted over it, and this one is the pipe chain with the stuffable.
I'm going to give you a solo layout so you can
Mm.
talk us
Yeah.
through some of the materials here.
So both of those came in the kit?
Well,
Or these are just ones that you have?
he has the pop-up shop,
Oh, right. Okay.
and then he threw this in there, and of course I had another order, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So this one here is the leather.
I love that leather.
And
nice.
and wrapped with the, is it 36 gauge or 32 gauge?
32 gauge.
32 gauge. Okay. 32 gauge wire. And then this one here is the pipe chain, which I'm going to use in one of my projects because you can stuff it. It is a tubing, like a silicone. Just stuff it.
Is that your technical term of the day?
Just stuff it.
Yeah. And a silicone tubing. So if you have any allergies to latex or silicone, this might not be the product for you. But of course, he has other alternatives, just like this leather. But you can stuff this. And I've gotten as much as 18 gauge wire through here.
Nice.
Really?
Yes. Now it's a, you got to,
surprised by that.
yeah, you have to scooch. You have to be very patient, but it does go through.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I really like these white, and then also you use your end caps, the Silversilk custom end caps. So you have the single strand,
Which are fabulous.
and the double strand, and they have little teeth inside.
Oh, I didn't know there was double strand.
Yeah, and there's triple strand, and there's even crystallized.
Oh. Hey, Nealay, can you use those on just regular leather, or just are they meant
You
for?
can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, very cool.
Where's the where did I put it? Oh man, I put it over to the side. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oops, she's coming back. I've never seen that one. That's very cool, and I love that you have it branded too. That's very nice. Well, that's good to know. Will it hold up to 3 millimeter or 2 millimeter?
Keep on bumping.
It'll go up to 3 millimeter,
Up
but
to
the
3?
squeeze on it will be a little bit like you have to press a little harder to get the 3 in there.
Yeah.
It'll go.
And do you recommend gluing it?
Nope, you don't need glue.
No. Oh, okay.
Your little teeth will latch onto whatever is in there. It'll work best for capture chain because of the ball chain core. But
Yeah.
I have no issues with leather.
Okay, good to know.
And then there's also triple strand.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm learning new stuff today.
Yeah. And he even crystallizes them too. Ah. Look at these.
I'm shocked at how many Silversilk findings you have right now.
I know. She's got another store here.
So look at these are crystallized.
Oh,
and
wow.
then so those will go in his pop-up shop.
Oh,
Aren't those pretty?
that is cool.
I love
Very
the
pretty.
rhinestone ones. I haven't made any in a while, but I need to get back to it. I've got all these different crystal colors that I have yet. But there's only one of me, so I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah.
my energy first.
Then you thought that was a lot. You flip it over and I have more.
Oh my gosh. And it's all color coordinated.
Yes. And I was showing Kelly earlier, then I have another one because you came up with the pipe chain end caps.
Oh gosh. So many. I love it.
And what I was showing her was that all of the colors, the shades, so the shades of gold are all the same shade. The shades of antique brass are all the same shade. And come to find out, for almost 4 years of designing jewelry, I figured out how I came up with that quirk of mine where I have to match my colors. It came from her.
Yeah, I don't like it when things are not kind of, I don't know. I'm having to reach out and do different things than I'm used to, and it's making me crazy because I, don't have access to what I used to. But I do like things to kind of look like they're meant to go together too. So,
and then also in the pop-up shop, some of these.
I was going to show you guys a quick graphic of why that is the way it is for the findings. And my custom findings have 5 different plating layers to them. This is something that I just found out from the factory that I work with. And so the base metal that's used is brass. That's what gives it that strong hold, why you don't need glue. And then on top of that are these different plated layers that create basically something that becomes extremely high quality, very shiny, depending on which metal it is. And also the chromium top layer coat, which prevents any tarnishing throughout time.
Nice. And did you know that when it's brass inside, that makes it naturally hypoallergenic?
Oh, even better.
It's something that my chain manufacturer does with their chains. And so that makes they last longer and they're naturally hypoallergenic. So most people that would come into the store to buy the chain would say, oh, well, this never turns on me. Some people still do. So that's a really good feature on your findings, that most people will be able to use them even if they do have some metal sensitivities.
That's really great to know, and I should definitely include that in the graphic too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great feature. Look at that.
Here is using that triple strand and made a tassel. And this is one of my favorite necklaces. My 2 favorite necklaces are using Silversilk. Nice. And those chip boho beads from Jesse James Beads. Then I learned something from Kelly, because using a toggle clasp, it never looked they
weren't even.
It didn't look even. Well, it's because I needed to add another jump ring. So I have 1 jump ring over here and I have 2 over here.
You should have 3.
I thought I did 3 and it looked,
it was too much.
It was too much.
It's
because they're bigger jump rings.
Yeah.
But so there I went and so again, just use use 2. These are, I think, 5mm jump rings.
Yeah, my little 4 ones, they tend to just kind of balance out. But I'm one of those people, again, that when I'm looking at things visually, I want it to look like it's meant to be and not like it's like there's a quirky off-center kind of thing. So that's why I sort of, do that with my stuff.
And then we have the terminators at the bottom too.
Those are cool.
Aren't those cool?
So you can put those on leather too, right?
Yeah. And just open them up. Yeah.
I got to get some of those.
Yeah. So
place an order, Nealay.
So she needs some triple strand and she needs some terminators. And there's 2 different sizes. There's a longer one. This one's the shorter one. And then there's a longer one that comes about up to here.
Those are cool, because sometimes with leather, even just plain old leather, you want to figure out what to do with the end of it. And I like that you could put that on the end.
Yeah.
It works well for like the lariats or bolo tie sort of feel.
Yeah.
So then we had some of these are these pinch beads?
Yeah.
And some of these they look like little eggs. Again, that's just
alien eggs.
Yeah.
And then we have some of these little drops. These are what, pips?
Yeah.
Yes. So good. I'm impressed.
I know. Look at you.
Wow. I know, but then it stops.
I can help a little bit, maybe.
So then these check glass fire polish?
Yeah, it's an 8mm fire polish.
Okay. And then we have are these table cut?
Yeah.
So pretty. And Picasso finish on the ends.
Yeah.
Outside.
I think you still have some of those in the pop-up
Picasso
shop.
or travertine. Sometimes it's hard to tell they look the same, but that one looks more like travertine to me. But
and I'll see travertine. I'm like, but I dig it. So is it really Picasso? Because I love Picasso finish.
Yeah.
And we have some little tiny ones here.
Yeah, those
some
are
little
4mm. I think I know where you got those from.
Yeah, because I think you were there.
And then these little cloudy guys are so cute.
Oh yeah, I love those. They're not hard to find. It's just I don't know what it is about that color that I always go back to.
Sort of opalescent.
Yeah. And I don't know, it just gives it a different pop. So when you have all this out, it just kind of just pops in there.
Yeah, it looks good.
And then I love the chain. I'm so glad you put chain, because you'll do videos and you have this amazing chain, and I'm like, I want some of that chain. And yeah, so I like how you had the chain in your pop-up shop this time too.
Thank you.
So what is this pop-up shop thing? What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to explain, Jenifer?
Yeah, please do tell. If you've got a moment, please tell. I've never heard of this pop-up shop thing.
So when you subscribe to text notifications at silversilkonline.com, you will get notified when the pop-up shop is open. And the pop-up shop is just that. You're going to find unique colors. This color here is not in, these two colors are not in his regular line.
Oh.
So you find these in the pop-up shop. And this one here is a little different. You see how it has a little bit of shimmer?
Yeah.
It has that tinsel. This is pearlesque. Has a tinsel woven through there too, on top of the wire, the knitted wire. Isn't that pretty?
It's beautiful.
Just gorgeous. So the pop-up shop are just limited edition.
Oh, and it's on your website though?
Yeah.
Like it's just but you have to be part of you got to be part of the in crowd to get in there?
No, anybody can get there.
Yeah, and that stuff doesn't last for very long. I do very small
Oh.
quantities and batches of things, and so
Yeah,
Jenifer is usually the first person to like race in there.
No.
I try, and I get mad. I get mad if something's already sold out. So I'm like, oh man, this day job is so in the way of me ordering from Nealay.
You and me
That's a really good
both.
idea.
Yeah.
I love that idea, Nealay. That's a really good thing, like a pop-up shop. And you do
Yeah.
it by text, so you just let people know by text.
But and it's on there. So if you're stalking his website, you're like, dang, there's a pop-up shop.
Not that you would ever do that.
I do all the time.
Oh, text hello. Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
So this is from the winter, and there was some incredible. There's his leather. This one has the green tinsel through it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then there was a Grinch. I think I have it too. Of course I do. There was a Grinch, the Grinch color.
What doesn't she have? Like it's literally Silversilk and more over here.
Oh, and
this is pretty. That one's nice.
There's two more bins over there. Oh, this is what Rain used. So Nealay,
That's pretty.
thank you for sharing Little Miss Rain making a bracelet
Oh
using.
my gosh, that was my favorite thing ever. Oh, is that that's the cording she used, the pipe chain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Guys, you can find that on Jenifer Miller's Instagram, Bella Ray Designs.
Yeah, where my 3-year-old, she's almost 4, but 3-year-old granddaughter that loves Nealay.
Who doesn't?
She had to make it. She comes over and she goes, Grandma, is it time? Are you off work yet? Can we make a bracelet? And I said, yes. And I had those Jesse James beads, large hole beads set aside so that when and she picked the ones that she wanted. Those weren't the only ones I had. And she picked what she wanted, color coordinated it. And then when it came down to crimping down and squeezing down on the end caps, she had to do it by herself. I don't need your help, Grandma. It's okay. I can do
I love that. But
Yeah.
what's more fascinating is that this gives me hope for the craft world for the next generation. My niece is about the same age as her, and is also obsessed with crafting and beading and trying to like learn the different terms and the pliers and everything. And I'm just like, wow, mesmerized. But cool.
All right, so I'm going to switch over to my other, and I have an idea. I have an idea for a second project, and I've never done it, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. But my first project here, pair of earrings.
Ooh.
And what I'm going to do for the second one, this is one that I did. I did a simple loop down here. There's nothing simple about a simple loop. Sorry. And and then I went ahead and threaded on one of the beads, one of these here. Then what I had already done was I took memory wire. And you had did you have memory wire in your pop-up shop too?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I believe I did.
Yes. when I know the whole menu on his pop-up shop, that's pretty good.
Yeah, she's like a walking endorsement for
That
you.
tells you how many times she's been over to the shop.
And so what I did was this is a little over 3 inches. And what I did was I just did another simple loop on the memory wire. And then I threaded this through, and we'll do it together too. And I threaded it in. And after I had it threaded on, I went ahead and did the second simple loop so that it's probably about 7 inches of 20 gauge vintage bronze craft wire from Softlex.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a wire wrap loop, and I always do 3 wraps, but I don't know what I was doing, but I did 2, and I always do 3. And so I had to do a third one. And so I came around that top bead.
So you did a simple loop with memory wire.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing simple about that.
No.
You chose like the hardest wire to make a simple loop on.
I know. And I practiced with the craft wire. And then this little charm here at the bottom wasn't part of your pop-up shop, but I got that from Kelly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's just a nice little accent.
And then I double jump ring. I like the double jump ring.
Yeah.
I get a thinner jump ring, and then I just double them up.
It complements the wire wrapping.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of mimics it there at the bottom.
Yeah. So then what I thought of doing, so since this one is already done like this, I thought of doing another one as a different option.
Oh, okay.
And my thought is not having all these extra beads. So I'll just have the one bead down here, maybe. I don't even have to have that bead down there. But then what I was going to do is have some of this chain, different links hanging from the back.
Oh, I like that idea.
Go for it.
Yeah,
asymmetrical, bold statement pieces are in this year.
So
like
true.
Big and bold. So go for it and make something that looks like you could wear it with it, but it doesn't. It's not exactly the same.
And yeah, so I thought, well, maybe I would do that, and then just provides another option too. And I love this chain. It's just
that's a good. Is it soldered?
No, it's not soldered.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, I know.
I love it when they're not soldered like that.
Me
That's
too.
nice.
Me too. And I like these for extenders because then you can bling it up on the end too, and just it's endless. So what I did was I just took one full loop of the bracelet size antique bronze memory wire, and then just cut them in half. So that half went here and half is going on the other. And that's just so that I can make sure that I have the same length.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my loops aren't going to be going this way. They're going to be going this way so that it can sit on the wire. So I have these are probably my first round nose pliers I ever had. And they even have like a little cutter in it. And they are just they're different, but I feel like they have a little bit of grip. And I feel like if I'm going to boss my memory wire around too much, that if these break, I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with these breaking because I love these. These are my Softlex ones, and they're just, I love them. It's because of the handle. Look at the difference in size. And I have big hands, so I appreciate the bigger handle, but I don't want to risk hurting them.
Interesting fact that you have different. I think that's a great idea to have different pliers for specifically the memory wire, because you're right. And I think that's why I said you're a brave lady for doing the loops on the memory wire, because that's not an easy feat.
It isn't. And you know what I did? I actually had memory wire bales, and I broke them.
Oh, wow.
Who does that? Me.
Well, memory wire is just a whole different animal.
Yeah, but someone taught me to boss around my wire.
Could it be that she's bossy in her real life?
Oh, wait, I need to put on my...
Oh, yeah, don't forget the pipe chain.
I would have forgotten it. I'm so glad I remembered. Okay, so...
Because I'm sitting here. It's going to throw her off.
I have like the two...
You are intently staring at her.
Yes, I am. I don't know what to do with myself. It's actually really nice not being in the hot seat for a change. It's kind of nice just kind of sitting here and jibber jabbering and watching what she's doing, because it's always me being watched. So
and this is a lot more easier than what I'm making it, because I had part of that kind of.
There you go.
There we go. I had it. It's a little curved. So now I'm really weird. I want my loop to go the same direction. Oh man. And I probably learned that from one of you guys.
And it depends on what sort of technique and execution. For this one, you really do want it to go in the same direction because of the way that you're stringing it.
And even though it looks like I don't have enough for my loop, so when you look at it, I just have a hair, right? It's okay because it's stuffed. You're stuffing it. So it just keeps on going. So see how I pull?
I was going to say the silicone cording is like the most forgivable material because it can stretch or condense as it needs to.
Yeah. I'm really making this a lot more difficult than what it is. Okay, there we go. Let's get that around. Okay. All right. So now, and then I just kind of just prime the ends. You notice I didn't put on any caps. I didn't put on any caps because I felt like it would have, I don't know, I just felt like it wouldn't have gone very well mixed in with the beads. But I like not having no end caps as well, but
yeah, they kind of just it really butts up against the fire polish quite nicely to where you don't need it. And then there was one question that one of our silkies here that's watching had, which is there a special nipper or cutter for memory wire, and particularly with
there should be.
Nealay.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
You know what? That's on my Tucson shopping list.
Yes, you need to have a good pair, or else you can just use a pair that you don't care about, but it will wreck them.
Yeah, let me show you.
Totally.
I have these.
Yes, the Zoron ones are great.
Yes.
I mean, even if you just buy the, I don't think you have any, the cheapy ones that are, like the super cheapy ones.
These are the only ones I have.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But these have lasted. No, Nealay uses. I thought that I was hoping that question would come up.
Bad Nealay. Bad.
Okay. Oh man, the little koiza keeps on coming off. All right, so
I throw those in the garbage. They annoy me.
I know. You saw I had a pile. I have a pile of these little koizas because you never know when you're going to need them again. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to stick with it's about 7 inches because this is about 8 inches wide. So it's about 7 inches. I can't stand waste, but we're going to have a little bit.
And how did you ever watch me? Because I waste all the time.
I know.
Because I'm not a measurer. On one of my upcoming videos, I actually say that I'm very scientific when it comes to making jewelry. And then I'm like, you guys know I'm kidding, right? Because I don't measure anything. I don't know why.
So I do have like a little pen mark about halfway up. And again, on these round nose pliers, they're going to be a little bit different than on, for example, like these round nose pliers. So you see how the length, so halfway up on mine might be just maybe a quarter of a way. And I have these dipped in Tool Magic just to, I don't know why I dipped them. I think I just got in a Tool Magic dipping party one night and I just started dipping all my tools.
Fun at the Miller house.
Fun at the Miller house, dipping in Tool Magic. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just make one of those, simple loops, right? Okay, so there I got to go a little bit more. Okay, so when it's touching, then I got to break the neck, right, Nealay?
There you go.
And then
at you. That's that's the most perfect simple loop. Are you kidding me?
Okay, yeah. I want to put it away.
Never to be replicated again, right?
I want to put it away.
So good. It must be the energy of having Kelly in the same room as you that you are just like, you are on fire, girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
Are you nervous making jewelry in front of me?
I'm so nervous. And you and Nealay. I would not know Nealay without you because of Great Bead Extravaganza. And then Rain was watching that year. She was 1 year old and you did a shout out to little Miss Rain. And she was wondering who was the guy in the cowboy hat.
I love that.
My hot friend Nealay.
Joan actually got me that cowboy hat that I
Really?
still affectionately love to wear sometimes on video.
Oh yeah.
So Joan's to blame for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually up to something that again.
So I don't know. I could probably go without a bead on top of there. Let's just see. We're gonna see. I can always take it off. Play.
Just play. See what feels.
But no, so Nealay, that was Great Bead Extravaganza 2021. And that's when I was like, what is this Silversilk stuff?
Now you know.
Mm-hmm. She's known for a while now.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this. And I was going to leave this all blank right here. And let's grab these guys.
Even I'm new to Silversilk because when Nealay and I were hanging out together in, what was it, July or something? And I had not really ever seen Silversilk too much, just on what you had done on the Great Bead Extravaganza. And then I got my hands on it and created that fun bracelet. And I love it. It is such a unique product.
Okay,
Joan, we need to share that to our Silkies again. I don't remember if we did that or not.
I have two of them in my suitcase actually right now. I love it.
You want more samples so I can pack it before I go.
Thanks.
Let me just see what it looks like. Kind of cute just to have maybe a couple. Maybe I can have, what is the rule of thumb? Is it odd numbers?
Yeah, technically, but who has to follow rules?
Now, wherever it fits, I think is where you want it to be.
Yeah, you could do three. You could do one longer one, and then a shorter, and then another a little bit shorter than that. A little offset or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can do a little stagger. Let's go ahead and do this. People out there viewing, thank you guys so much. And I haven't been watching. I did see Maria was here. I saw Lorena.
We can't scroll down into the comments.
Oh, wait. I should give you the mouse.
Okay.
There you go.
Not that I can see over there.
But... Okay. And then I saw Gail. I saw Lori. And I saw Susan. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Susan. Becky. Yay. And then who else did I see? Linda from Australia. So many wonderful people.
Lots of people here.
Okay, I think I am just going to do what I did before because I don't want to use. Yeah, I'm not feeling brave. You have no idea. People out there, you guys have no idea what it's like right now.
You have the pressure of the barrel queen next to you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Seems we lost a camera. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Okay. I was going to bring my tiara as a joke for Tucson because everybody was calling me the barrel knot queen last year. I forgot to bring it.
Oh, yeah. I have a tiara that Joan sent me that I could bring.
Oh, really? I can walk around going, oh, hello.
Barrel knot queen is in the house.
Oh, you know what? Over there on that other mat, underneath those soft flex beads,
sorry, Kiefer.
I have some barrel knots because Wendy Whitman, she's like, I cannot do a barrel knot for the life of me. And I recorded her a little video. You see that black leather? The black leather is right here.
What am I looking for?
I did barrel knot.
Oh,
I did barrel knot, different barrel knots for her.
You did too. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of cute, huh?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not a expert at it one bit. Because I will still text Kelly and say, I'm having such a hard time with this. And she'll say, just leave and go back to it.
Yeah,
it's
okay. Whenever we were together in July, I think you hooked me up with some barrel knot cords of yours. Or barrel knot tubes.
The tubes, yes.
These right here?
Yes.
I was going to do a contest to see who had the most, out of all my customers, who probably had the most barrel knot tubes. And then I felt like it was unfair because Jenifer probably wins because she is.
I already know who Jenifer is.
Yeah, I've ever done.
Okay, so there we go there. I'm probably not even centered.
I love that.
I do too. Now.
It's such a beautiful design.
So I'm really weird. I want my wrap to go in the same direction. Or mirror.
Well, yeah,
and it's very hard to do, but I
to
do
do.
it.
Yeah. The good thing is, though, that your ears are on the side of your head and not in the middle of your face, so nobody would notice if you didn't.
And if someone notices, if they're so close to you that they're noticing, they're standing too close to you.
Yes.
I know. Or they should just be my Valentine.
I always say if somebody's standing that close to you, they should be doing something else. You should be having a little more fun.
There you go.
Okay, so I am using 20 gauge, so I'm not going to be at the tippy tip like I normally do. So I'm going to come just up just a hair, and I think I'm going the opposite direction. So I saw Deb's name in here. So if because Deb's left-handed too.
Oh yeah.
And so I pull in my inner Deb here, just because I want my loops to go opposite. Okay, it's very awkward. Okay, and I try to get them in the same exact spot.
Wow. I couldn't do that, I don't think.
I know you're like wowing me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that dexterous.
Okay, so there we go. And it's not very cute, but because all you have to do, so if yours is not cute like that, where it's not centered, all you have to do is just roll your wrist a little bit and get that all nice and centered up. Okay?
Just make
Then
it do what you want it to do.
Boss it around. And you can also tweak it afterwards too. And then let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to use my fingers. I never use my fingers. And I only went twice around on the other one. Yes, I only went twice.
Look at that. Look
Very
at
good.
you. Oh my gosh.
You have no idea the pressure I'm feeling right now.
I mean, you work well under pressure if that's the case.
Tons of pressure. Okay, so then we're going to come in the back, because anybody that watches my videos, there's a front and there's a back. I don't like the tail to stick out the front. So, oh, look at the waist. Where's Maria? There's my little bit of waist.
Half inch. Oh my goodness.
You did good. I'm very, very surprised. I have more waist than I care to admit as well. I try not to, but it happens.
So when it does happen, I put it in a bag.
There, yes, that's a great way to conserve it.
I would need a wheelbarrow.
Oh, there's another bag. Behind my monitor, there's another bag underneath.
Oh yeah, there is. I don't know. Well, because I'm doing so many prototypes, you know, like coming up with new projects, I often will have to, you know, kill a lot of wire or whatever as I'm trying to perfect it, because I don't like just putting stuff out there. I like to make sure that it's, you know, good quality.
Mm-hmm.
I got four videos in the cam before I left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm working hard.
Wow.
Okay, and I did test these out. They look like they would be heavy, but they're not heavy because you're using that pipe chain. That silicone's not. It's not.
No, they don't look
not
like
heavy.
No, they're not heavy at all.
I thought, oh man, they're probably going to be heavy, but they didn't come out heavy. These are not my favorite.
We have a lot of volume with the shapes and the way that everything's kind of laying together. I'm very impressed with this design for a number of reasons. And Kelly's right. Part of what 2024's trend is right now is big earrings. And, you know, I could see this shape created in so many different ways with just that clever trick that you taught us with memory wire.
Yeah, this actually, I'm just going to take your piece. If you flipped it this way, and made a necklace and hung it off the bottom, that could be used almost like a bail. Like, you know, you can sort of see how you could do a lot of different things with that.
Did you want to know that this was originally for a necklace?
Oh, really?
Amazing.
It was originally going to be a necklace, and as I started going up the track here, because I was going to do dangles with the chain and but this was not exactly what I had planned.
I love those scallops, though. That would be really fun to connect on a necklace together if there were multiple ones, perhaps. There's so many design possibilities.
Mm-hmm. I always say you're just limited by your imagination.
Totally.
Okay, and I don't have my magnifying glass, so I can't really make sure.
You're doing good.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right. Then let's go ahead and I just had some of these little ear wires. Nealay has ear wires. I love your ear wires too. They remind me of Kelly's.
Oh, thank you.
A little ball.
Yes.
Those are nice.
You don't like those though, because they're not tiara cast.
Well, we've had to give that ghost up now, haven't we?
Yeah, we had to all kind of give that up, sadly.
Yeah, fortunately.
Okay, let's just go ahead and open this up. And you can use your hands if you want to as well. But I usually have a magnifying glass to do all this. That magnifying glass right there. It sits on top of the ring.
Oh.
I know, yeah. Well, because then I'll seed bead. I'm not a seed beader, but Danielle Wicks.
Oh, she'll get you hooked for sure.
Oh, she's got me hooked. Oh, I have a Danielle Wicks bin too.
Oh, do you?
There. Yeah. Okay.
She's such a good teacher. She's got such a lovely energy. Excuse me.
So there they are. Did I get them about the same size? I tried.
You did. They look great.
Nice. Okay, and there's my waist.
Amazing. You're like the ideal no waste crafter.
Yes. So let's see. We have Barrel Knot Queen. Nealay is just the queen. And I could be the no waste queen.
I'm obsessed with these earrings. Like, they just are a perfect example of Art Deco that
which way would you wear them?
Oh, wait, here, let me
Either way. You can wear them either way.
You could wear them in or out.
With the hoop
an innie or an outie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess it doesn't really matter. You could choose which way you're feeling that way that day.
Yeah.
Fun.
Minimal waste queen.
Minimal waste queen. Now, there's a good tagline.
That is what you've been awarded with.
Okay, so I do have one. Oh, what are you doing over there?
I haven't really done much, but I will show you what's at my table.
Okay.
I haven't done much except comment. Last year, I went to Tucson and I went to one of my vendor friends and picked up these gigantic horn, I don't know if they're beads, they're components, whatever they are.
I remember those.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like 5 to a strand, but then, or 6, I think, but I took one off. And I was going to do something gigantic for myself just because, I don't know, like, what if it rained outside and I just needed a pick-me-up, you know? So, like, I was going to stack all these together and then hang capture chain to each one of them. So that would be like a really long necklace that would just be like this gigantic thing that I would wear. I haven't finished it yet, but I was kind of just playing around with it, and I figured we would probably do something now, but then, I don't know, I feel like your demonstration of everything was just like the cherry on top.
Did those have loops on the end of... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I just stuck one of my head pins through and then just did a little wire wrap.
Oh, yeah.
These brass beads came from an old project that I had that I decided to, like, I don't know, take apart. I think I made that project in 2015, in fact. And so I was like, these brass beads would work for this. So I decided to take that one apart because it was just sitting, eating dust anyways. So on this.
Gosh, so yeah, my brain's working overtime. I'm like, I've got a million ideas for those big things. I'm like, oh, you could do, and then you could do.
Yeah, and exactly. That's kind of, I stared at them for a while, and it was one of those things that I picked up for myself. I just didn't know what I was going to do with them.
Why don't you make what you were going to do?
Say what?
Why don't you start doing what you were going to do so we can get an idea of what you were going to do?
Oh, okay.
So that we can know what you're going to do. So that you can go ahead and do it.
Stop talking about it and just do it.
Yeah.
I have a long crimp because I figured, like, if I'm going to stick 10 strands onto it, I'm going to need some sort of a way to do that with capture chain. And so I'm having these actually manufactured from my factory. So these are old crappy ones that I've got.
Yes.
The ones that I have will have my Silversilk symbol on it, and then it'll also be the 5 layers of plating. But yeah, these are just some ones that I picked up from a store. But I figured, for a project prototype for myself, I don't really care. And so I'm gonna try and attempt to stick, 10 strands through, or no, 5 or 10. I think I was gonna do 2 strands of this per thing, per loop. So, but
wow.
I don't know. I mean,
those are so cute.
I was being really like design ambitious with this, and I never got around to finishing it. So I have all these like little mini end caps, and I'm gonna grab some cutters. I will show you how to crimp with these. That's the one thing I can definitely show you over here. So as we kind of talked about, I'm going to solo my layout here. These are my I can't even talk now. Silversilk single strand end caps. You try saying that 6 times, y'all. I see you laughing. They have little teeth or grooves inside that grasp onto the ball chain core of capture chain. And so what you want to do is essentially the idea is just to stick this in, stuff it, and squeeze it, right? There's a couple tips that will help you do this successfully. So first is having a good pair of chain nose pliers that have a pretty narrow tip. These are from Zoran as well that I love using. They're actually crimpers. But you can use, let me see if I can grab a pair here. Just regular chain nose pliers. Which look like this. And those also tend to fit into these little things. But what you're wanting to do is just to open this up by like squeezing out against the plier handles just a little bit. This opens it up about 1 millimeter or so extra, and so it'll make stuffing it a lot easier. Mm-hmm. The second thing that you want to do is kind of just shake off the end that you've trimmed. Sometimes there's little wire bits that hang around, and what you don't want is those hanging around because they tend to get in the way of crimping. You can see I plucked one off there. And so take it off. If you need to pluck it, you can. Once you've done that, then you're ready to stuff accordingly. And then you want to grab a pair of pliers that look like this. They're wide nose pliers, so they're very wide at the tip. And they've been dipped in a product called Tool Magic. So then all you do is take it into your pliers and then you just squeeze it like this, and that's it. So there's no application of glue, and you want to make sure that the seam of your crimp is pretty shut, as you can see there. So with that, you just do that 100 times, and then you got like a necklace that's just over the top.
Well, only you could pull
it on crimping. That's as hard as I'm going to try today.
Are you going to have it ready for Tucson so that you can strut down the
goal but like we have 2 days to get ready, and I still haven't even packed my suitcase yet.
Well, get on it, my friend.
I know. I'm bringing a bunch of like self-addressed stamped boxes and then like a few shirts. Mostly the boxes are going to take up the suitcase though.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to ship stuff back to myself. But between that and a backpack, I should be fine. You know.
Yeah.
I've got the bill there, and Tucson has grocery stores. We'll be fine.
Yeah. If you forget something, you can just buy it.
That's what I always say too. Yeah. I have a ton of stuff. I don't know why I overpacked. Mostly because I don't have any clothes right now. I'm just trying to like find things that fit me, and so I was getting desperate.
I have a question for you, Nealay.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever made a stretch bracelet using your pipe chain?
You know, I haven't, and I feel like someone has, but I can't remember who. It might have been Sam or Rachel or someone, but I have not. I have not, because I also just don't have any stretch cord now that I think about it. Is this is that what you're working on?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
that was my little idea. Remember I said I had an idea, and I just
yeah. I thought the memory wire thing was your idea. You have more ideas.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I have some 0.8 elasticity, but I'm really weird about the knot showing. I probably got that from somebody.
I have no idea who. Don't be blaming that on me.
But I do like the fiber cord, and I double it up.
Oh.
And this I didn't learn from, just because you use this a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember the question, what do you use? What's better, the cord or the fiber? And I've done both. And that was your answer too, was just try both.
Yeah. We were actually just talking about that the other day with my staff, and everybody has their preferences on materials that they like to use.
So I am using some of your pipe chain end caps that I just absolutely love, but mine don't have the SS's on them yet. Because didn't you just
right.
notice?
No, that was like the first batch, and then like
Yeah.
the new batches that are coming through do have the logo on it. So you kind of got the Gen 1 version of them.
And that's
Those are
okay.
nice.
I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
I mean, those are going to be like antique, worth a lot of money someday.
Okay, so I'm just going to use some of those little tiny fire polish rondelles.
Are those fire polish or are they just Chinese crystal? I can't tell.
I can't tell you.
No, those are crystal, Chinese
Okay.
crystal.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So then I have some little tiny bead caps from my stash that actually came from Kelly's, part of her $5 finding. And so I am just going to thread those on a little bit in between, just to add a little bit of color in between. I was looking for rhinestones because I wanted to kind of bling it up a little, but on the fly, I couldn't find them right away.
Is there a specific, I'm very nervous about using elastic cord for stuff. I don't know why, but is there like a brand that you prefer or like to use?
So for the elasticity, that one is Beadalon, and then Beadalon also has this fiber cord. What's it called? Opalon?
Opalon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Opalon is made in Japan. It's a really good quality fiber cord. And when you get most of the bracelets that are manufactured over in China, they have a version of this sort of fiber cord. I've tried all of the elastics, and I personally only will use elasticity. I find it to be the best quality. It doesn't overstretch, because a lot of the really cheap ones that you can buy will overstretch, and then you'll end up with saggy jewelry over time.
Nobody wants saggy jewelry.
Nobody wants sag.
No. The nice thing about this fiber cord that she's using, the Opalon, is you don't have to pre-stretch it, where with the elasticity, you want to pre-stretch it, or else you will have saggy jewelry. So
Oops, I didn't. I put on an extra one.
That's your Amish mistake, right?
Yes. Then also too, what you could do if you want to add a little bit of shape, you can stuff your pipe chain with a little bit, maybe like a 24 gauge or 22 gauge wire, just to, if you want it to have shape.
Like you stay in the round.
Yeah, to stay in the round. But it's gonna be, I mean, when I get it all nice and tied up, it's gonna be.
It should probably be fine once you get it tied.
Okay, so I don't want that extra one. And I started, so what I did was I started my stringing with the end cap so that I can tie my knots and stuff it inside that end cap. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Then I have a really long piece because I'm going to pass it back through again. And I have a bracelet. I don't have it on today. I didn't put it on. But I have a bracelet that I put on every single day. And it has never, ever come apart. Ever. And it's using this double, and it's your 8mm hematite beads.
Really?
Yeah, it's heavy. And I would never do 8mm now with it, just because I feel like it would be too thin, but yeah.
The nice thing about this fiber cord, the Opalon, is you can go back and forth numerous times. And the one thing about, because it's multiple layers, is if they do start to fray, you'll notice it before your bracelet breaks, and then you can remake it. Because people often ask me, like, well, what's the best one that's never going to break? Well, there is no such thing as an elastic that won't eventually debride and break.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of elastic. It's like, when you have, you find something, I don't know, like for us in bead world, we get hanks of beads that have elastics around it, and they will eventually break just because that's just what happens with elastic. But I do like this product because it will tell you when it's going to break. So, and by doing it multiple times like this, it prevents that from happening too soon.
Okay, I want a little bit more on this side.
I also love that this design does not have to have a clasp, and because we all know how I do with clasps.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have clasps. He does, because I have some here,
I mean, I never used them in my videos.
Because I have all of his clasps.
Yeah.
Because Jenifer took all of them.
I just did a video where I used beads and elastic with chain, and it had no clasp. And people were like, well, how do you get it on? Oh, it's got elastic, but it had chain. And so it was confusing for people. But
But see, yours is thought out. Like, I'm just generally, like, sometimes not prepared for my videos.
Okay, this one is going to be like a little tiny. This one is like Maria size.
But it works.
It's very small, but it works.
Yeah, that totally works.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Wait,
cute.
you gotta flash it on camera after you put it back on.
Oh, and it's too tight.
Yeah, it's a baby one.
Yeah, it's too tight. It's a baby one. Oh, it could go to Rain too.
Yes, give it to Rain. She would look very
so you just so if I were to have, if it were to fit, if it weren't so small, it would. So I'd probably add more beads. I can add more beads. That's what I can do. I haven't even got it tied off yet. I can just add more beads. Yeah, I can add more beads, but I'll do that off camera because I want it. Okay, so then I just kind of pull it. And then what I do, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I will tie my knot. I will tie a knot like so. Okay, and then I'll do then a double. So the surgeon's knot, right? So I do the surgeon's knot, and then I do another thing. And I don't know how or where I got it from, but I'll do this. Okay, and then kind of stretch it out. But then what I'll do is, since I have that other piece, that other strand, I will take one of the strands up around it and then do the same thing again. Like I said, I have, knock on wood, and I've only been doing this for almost 4 years. I've never had one break yet. This one I would break if I put it on right now, but so there you go.
I love this idea. I think it's genius. Again, you've just wowed me. You've dazzled and wowed me this entire hour that we spent together.
I have some GS Hypo cement, and then all I do is I just take that. So I just pull on it, and I wrap it around my finger enough to where I cut off my circulation. And then, and then I just put a dab. I just put like a little, so pretend like this is the tip. I put a little dab on here, a little dab on there. I blow on it, let it kind of go until the finger turns purple, then just let go. And then I just let it be overnight. And then I come back the next day. I come back, I stretch it out again. I just make sure I cut it. And then I tuck it into, for this one, it's going to be tucked back into the end cap. And you can already tell it's going to, because you don't see the knot at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, it's hidden away very well.
Mm-hmm. And I can dangle other beads on it too. I have a few here. But I looked at the time and I was like, oh no, because I was going to add some pip beads in between and have them just dangle. Since I have those bead caps in between there, ooh, I can add a little something, some dangles. Yeah. So I was forward thinking.
Super cool. Just, it adds a little flair and texture to the design, giving it a little more drama.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of possibilities for that for sure. And I feel like, an hour is just never enough to complete all the thought processes and stuff that exist inside your beautiful mind. But I appreciate that you were able to give us like 2 good designs tonight. That was way more than I was expecting. Amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I was able to come on and finally do this long-awaited live with you.
I know. Well, we'll just have to continue doing them and, hang out more and all the good things. What is the elastic brand you are using? You said it was Elasticity by Beading?
This one is the Opalon.
Oh, Opalon.
So it's the Opalon. It is a fiber cord. So it's more, a fiber, it's a fiber
elastic and made in Japan.
And it's thin, so it's flat. It's not round like your Elasticity.
So it'll squish down and you can get it into beads more than Elasticity. When you start knotting it, it will create like a little ball on the end, where this kind of goes flat. So they're completely different animals. They're not even comparable.
And if my rule of thumb is if I'm doing like 6 millimeter or less, I will try to use this. And I didn't even think of the fact that since it's doubled up, if it starts to go, you'll know about it and you won't lose anything. So I kind of like that idea too. But I do like using this for like 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter.
Yeah, heavier bead is good on the elasticity.
Yeah, because if I'm using a small bead, I noticed because I tried using this even on small beads and I felt like it stayed buckled.
Yeah.
Because you have to get it at least tight enough to not have gaps, right? And so I just felt like, yeah.
They're just different. It's good to play with different materials so that you can, that's how you expand your design horizon, so to speak.
And as far as the earrings, I use 20 gauge vintage bronze from Softlex, and I did not have a problem stuffing it. The only reason why I was having that was the memory wire, but this one I don't ever have a problem. And like I said, I went up to 18 gauge on a brooch style pendant that I made. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's good to know because I don't think I've tried anything quite that thick through the piping yet. The most I've ever gone is the 20 gauge, but again, really good to know because then you could start to create shapes with the wire and have it kind of stay in place a little bit better than thinner wire would work. So yay. I love that you love experimenting and trying different things with Silversilk. It's always appreciated. And I've learned so much from you already just watching these two projects. And so I can't wait to see you create more with what with the Tucson that you have in that very room that you are in. Guys, I want you guys to go and follow Miss Jenifer Miller on her YouTube channel as well as her Facebook. Do you want to give a quick shout out to both channels?
So I'm on Instagram more than Facebook. So it's Bella Rain Jewelry CO. And then on my YouTube, it's Jenifer Miller, 1N, 1F. Just like
perfect.
Kelly with an IE.
Yeah, I'm always something different,
right? 1N Jen. And Nealay is just how you hear it.
I'm just but in case you guys are wondering, I did leave all of that information in the video description over on the YouTube channel where you can find out more about what Jenifer is working on through her channels. So definitely give her a subscribe and follow over to her. And of course, we've got Miss Kelly, who, I mean, your YouTube is just gigantic library of inspiration, amazingness, and to have a project of Silversilk on there is like, I get to be part of the library.
Well, thanks for creating such a great product. Like it's so versatile, and even just seeing all these little things, I'm like, ooh, I can do different things. So it's a great product that you've got with all the stuff, all the great accoutrements that go with it. So it's really nice.
Oh, thank you. So Joan has been so kind to post each of those links to your YouTube channels as I can see populating on the back end. So thank you, Joan. You all give some snaps out there for Joan doing an amazing
job.
Thank you, Joan.
my Joan is on here too, Diane. I saw her. I have a Joan, but her name is Diane.
Everyone needs Joan in their life, I'm saying.
Right? I know. So hi, Diane. Thank you for joining us.
Teresa's here too. Teresa, your other.
It's nice to have
lovely friend and Greta, her daughter, are both in the house. So it's always wonderful to see their names pop in and give some little claps and snaps for them too. They do amazing work behind the scenes.
Amazing. Yes.
Silversilk brand in our little group over on Facebook. All right. Well, that was an amazing tutorial. So I think we'll just leave it at that for tonight. I know I feel inspired. I may or may not finish my project. We'll just see because I know I have some packing to do. But otherwise, this has been great, ladies. And thank you again for joining me for this amazing
Thank you.
tutorial. And for all of you out there, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. See you Friday.